Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is a Figma, E.M.M.I from Metroid Dread. You can see it there in front of the box. Go ahead and put it off to the side real quick and look at said box, which is very large for a Figma box. This is the biggest Figma box I've ever seen. Personally, anyway. There's probably bigger out there, but I don't know. Anyway, which way, getting up a little bit, you can see E.M.M.I right there in the big old window in the you know, some Good Smile Company and some Japanese right there, 15 something, I think, anniversary. Down here, product number 613, E.M.M.I, you know. Yeah, E.M.M.I right there, and you also got Metroid Dread and Nintendo, official Nintendo's product, licensed product. At the top here you have, you know, hey look, there's E.M.M.I in another pose. On the side here you have E.M.M.I in a pose. And Figma right there. On the side again you have, well, E.M.M.I in a pose. On the bottom you have, hey look, E.M.M.I in a pose again. And in the back, you have a whole bunch of product shots and warnings and copyrights and all that stuff. And it's also for ages 15 and up because it's not for children. So that's the really big box. In the box, along with all the accessories and figure and stuff, are, of course, the instructions, which are in both Japanese. They're in both Japanese and in English. So, you know, you can... Because, yeah, there's a couple things you got to be mindful of when you're messing with this guy, with this thing. There's definitely a couple things to be mindful of when messing with this one, because this is not your standard Figma. There is E.M.M.I, and getting in close real quick. You can see, I'm getting a little backwards a little bit. Yeah, there we go. You can see, yeah, mostly white, but you got this kind of very light metallic purple thing going around on the head thing. You got the red... You know, very reflective eye there. You got a bit of spikes here, kind of blackish, grayish gunmetal thing. You got some silver bits on there, and lots of, again, that gray and some silver, some tubing, and mostly less whites. And yeah, it's just mostly two colors for most of it. And the nice little bits of, you know, very good detailing throughout it. See a little red bit right there, but yeah. Also, you can see the very much not standard Figma stand. Drawing back a little bit more again. You can see it's an extra large stand because, well, it's an extra large figure. This thing is huge. This is the biggest Figma I own. I'm not sure if it's the biggest Figma ever, but it's the biggest one I currently own. And yeah, you can see the stand here is quite large. More reinforced than the usual thing. Yeah, this is just for the sake of supporting it. There are also, you can see there's 3 different spots for the armature, and this armature of course has multiple hinges, 3 of them. All of them are friction, not ratchet. At this side you'd think they may be ratchet, but you know, they're solid enough, and with those screws you're going to tighten or loosen them as you need to. And of course, yeah, this thing that plugs in right there. You could also plug in the front for some reason. That's weird. Actually, there's not front, but it also plugs in down here if you want. But yeah, all that stuff. And yeah, and can it stand without the stand? Well, sometimes, depending on what I guess pose you got it in. This pose, no, it's kind of a little too front heavy. Well, sometimes you can get it to stand sometimes, but at least in this mode, but it's a little difficult. So I'm just gonna keep it on this thing just so it doesn't flop over on me a lot. Yeah, posability. It's actually you can see there's multiple joints in here, so you got, you know, up and down, all around, and left and right, and all that stuff. This bit can. Oop, that's not what I wanted. This bit right here can extend and retract a little. Yeah, the problem is that thing. This neck piece right here can extend and retract a little bit. You can see that. This bit can extend and retract, and also this thing can pop off really easily. That's the problem with this. Yeah, you can extend and retract it, but also this will just probably pop off in the process because, yeah, it's designed to come off, but yeah, I wish it's kind of stayed on a little bit nicer. Yeah, beyond that, so that's the head stuff. Shoulders right here, those, you know, those are on ball joints a little bit, but get rotation. It's a little bit of wiggle. This is on a hinge right here. Got outward about that much. Do have a swivel right there. This actually goes up back and forth, I think. Yeah, a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit. There's this hinge right here. It's an elbow. Go to left far forward. That far back. There's this thing, which is useful for a particular pose we'll get into a little bit, but that extends out like that. It can actually extend out quite far. Let's see. There we go. It's being a pain in my butt right now. Of course, the claws here, you got this extended. This can extend and retract right here. Although don't mind that great. This one gets stuck a little bit sometimes, which is a little annoying. But yeah, that can extend and retract. Here at the hand, you got, well, these, all the claws are on their own ball joint, although there's some limitations. But yeah, the entire assembly can rotate, and that's about it there. But these on ball joints, you got forward and back there, and a little bit of rotation and whatnot. There are some limitations. If you try to push it too far, it's going to break something. So be careful. These are also pointy, so also be careful of that. Those are pointy. This right here. Gonna get it off here real quick. We'll show this part off. This can straighten out and fold forward, although be careful about too far. I popped this waist joint out almost immediately, and the problem was when I did that, these tubes also popped out, and it was a pain in the butt getting all 4 tubes and this waist joint all lined up and plugged in at the same time. So just be careful. So you do have a bit of, crunching, as you can see, and whatnot. Careful, but you see, the tubes are rubbery plastic, so they're designed to bend. You do also have rotation, again, only so much because of the tubes. If you remove the tubes entirely, you get more, but then it's not right to the game, so just be aware of that. Down here, you do have hips, which are pretty freeform. You got, full rotation, you can see that. You got outward, not much that far, and all that stuff. You got rotation like that as well. The knees, you got that much range because of the pistons and everything. You got that much range. You got this as a rotation. You can go forward and back as well, about that much. This can extend and retract. It's on a ratchet too, very soft one. And the feet, down here at the feet, you do have a rotation at the feet. You do have a side-to-side thing as well. This side to side, and these are also on little, I think they might be on little claw things. Maybe not. No. These are not as posable. These are not posable like the hand ones. These are very much static, so only for feet. So there you go. Posability is odd but useful. Yeah. So just I guess compare in size real quick while it's not on the stand. Stay. Here's Metroid Dread Samus. Yeah, quite the height difference, but that's kind of right. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the E.M.M.I, I almost forgot to mention, the E.M.M.I stands for, what was it? Extraplanetary or exoplanetary multiform mobile identifier, aka acronym. We made it the word first and tried to force an acronym out of it. So a couple things you can do here with there's a couple accessories, all pretty much for the head, and all accessories can go, of course, in the included bag, little Figma bag. There's actually only a couple. There's this thing, which is the head spike thing, which you sometimes see in the game. You got these bits, which are attached to the head as well. I'll show how that works. They're kind of a pain. And you got this bit as well, which is actually specifically for these bits. So this part's really easy. You just, well, as you saw earlier, you just move this up a little bit. Take this, pop that off. And again, there's 4 peg holes, and they're keys. So there's 2 big pegs and 2 small pegs, you can see. Like that. Yeah, you can see the 2 big pegs and 2 small pegs, and there's, of course, 2 big peg holes and 2 small peg holes. You got to line that all up and plug it in the correct way, and now, bam. Now it's got the scary spike thing, which, is going to stab Samus. So there's that. But also on top of that, on this one, 2 of these pieces come off, and let's see. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's hard to tell which one it is until you, well, actually pull it off, But you can see there's a gap on this one, so I believe it's this one. Yeah. Yeah, this one comes off. Yeah, 2 of these come off, and you can see, yeah, one's on the small peg, one's on the big peg, and yeah, these come off like that. Gotta be careful again, these are very pokey as well. And those come off, and this one will, yeah, those will come off, and then use these ones. Put these ones on. These have the little, kind of a little bit of an extra little, like, spiky bit. You can see that. There's that little extra spiky bit compared to this one. And the reason for that is for the other accessory, because these parts for the other accessory work. So yeah, take those, plug it back onto the head. Yeah, the head back onto the neck, I guess. Right there. And this thing right here, see this thing on the inside right here has the little grooves here, which will slide over those bits, and then now it's now it's got this kind of big shielded face. Because I believe this is based on the second E.M.M.I you encounter in the game, which was the white one with this big thing. The other ones had smaller, different colors, and had smaller fins, I guess. So you got that. And the other thing is, because this is for mostly when it's crawling, and what you do there is, because, yeah, sometimes it can arch back. Well, this can't actually do that because the way these are designed, you can't actually arch it back. So what you do instead is they tell you to actually just swap the legs around. So you just swap the legs around, which, yeah, they come out really easily. Not super easily, but, it doesn't take too much. So now it's, oh, hey, now it's arched back, right? Now it's arched back for whatever reason. But this also lets it do the whole, crawling thing. So that's what these are for. That's why these can extend out like this, so you can kind of do the whole on the quadruped mode. Although the arms are a little weak for this, feels like sometimes. So you got to get the little quadruped mode and get that all sorted out. So you can, get it called quadruped, and then of course, again, because of this, you have that secondary, joint for this, and you can adjust how that sits or what have you. Whatever you want there. How do I want to do? I know. With that one, you probably would have liked to have this plugged in a different spot and yeah, area in there, and then kind of or something. However you want to do that, but yeah, yeah, like that or something. Of course, it helps if it doesn't collapse on itself. Yeah, the big problem here is this: the quadruped mode is simply the arms aren't as good at holding him up, and this just came off. By the way, this comes off. Don't worry, it's just it's very similar to the all the rest of the Figmas with the hand joint, like the wrist joints. So it's pretty easy to pop it back on. So theoretically, you could also then if you want to be really creepy, you could take the hand bits. You can take hands from other Figmas and pop them onto these, I believe, and that will be creepy as hell. That'll be really creepy. Yeah, so you can do the whole quadruped thing, although again, like I said, the arms aren't great at holding it up. So yeah, the arms aren't great at holding it up, unfortunately. So just got to be mindful of that. Yeah, the little claws like to twist around and everything. So you got all that. So yeah, something like that. And then yeah, well, regardless, you have a whole bunch of options here with that sort of stuff because of how it works. Yeah, so you can have the different poses. There we go. That's what it is. I knew I was kind of getting close on it, but yeah. So you can have the different poses, all that, have it all creepy, running or crawling around, all that stuff, just like in the game. Yeah, so it's not bad in the slightest. It's just kind of weird. You have to get used to it because it doesn't move like a human would, is the thing. So you have to kind of get used to the idea of how the pose is not normal. It's not normal posing. You have to kind of get used to its weirdness. And in fact, it's large. There's also very few accessories. You saw them all. Just all basically has the spike head and the extra bits to do the shielded face. So that's it. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's real cool. I like it. It just kind of has a weird, somewhat, I guess, for lack of a better term, learning curve to it. Once you figure it out, it's actually pretty cool. And you get some pretty cool things going on and just make it look creepy and weird and everything. But yeah, it's an interesting figure, to say the least. It's also actually not as expensive as you think it would be, considering it's twice the height of Samus. You think it'd be pretty expensive. That's about $100, which, yeah, some people go $100 is really expensive, but for a Figma, considering its size and everything, $100 is actually not that bad. It's, yeah, the only thing I would maybe complain about is the arms, at least on mine. I wish the joints were a little tighter, particularly for the quadruped mode, because I have to really kind of fight the joints a little bit to get it to work better in quadruped mode. But bipedally, it works, and just kind of finding that balance and everything. But once you do it, it just generally looks kind of like a big, creepy robot, kind of somewhat human-ish, kind of not really quite human robot, and that kind of works in its favor considering what it is. So, yeah, I rather like it. So if you already have the Samus, the Metroid Dread Samus, this is an easy accessory companion figure for Samus. So, yeah, just be aware of that. And, yeah, if you like Metroid Dread, definitely, I think, go ahead and pick this one up, unless you just only want a Samus, which is fair enough. So, that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media. It's down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Coffee, my Patreon, and I shall see you next time with another video review.